Well, I am in what would have initially been the lobby in this 1906 Southern Hotel. As you walk in the front door, this lobby is to the left. The stairs to the second floor are straight ahead of that door as you enter into this lobby in the front door. Well, last summer I went through the process of replacing one window. I'm taking out the double hungs and putting in single hungs, but they are built to match the same holes. So last summer I took all the old windows out and I kind of pre-fitted all the new windows in. And before winter came on, I didn't have them finish installed, caulked and sealed up and all that. So we just took insulation and stuffed around the edge and kind of sealed up the building for the winter, and next summer I'll get to it. Well, next summer is here. Actually, today is on the schedule to get to be about 110 degrees. So I've been down here since about daylight trying to get a few things done. But I haven't shown you the process because it's pretty repetitive. But there are some things that are surfacing mainly on the north side of the building on the second floor that I'm having to do quite a number of repairs, some of them fairly extensive. But I thought maybe I'd show you some of these things that show up when you're remodeling a 120-year-old building. It's a can of worms sometimes. So this is now up on the second floor, and I'm right above the lobby where we just were. And these windows I have been doing the final install, but some repairs I've had to do because the window sills are completely rotted out. For some reason on this northwest side, the sills are gone, and some of these, actually even the jambs, have been gone. So I've had to come up about 8 or 10 inches, and I put a backing plate in and screw my replacement piece into it and into the old jamb to try to give me a firm jamb to hold the sill in place again. And I've had to do it on both sides. So this is the second one-by that is behind that I can fasten both of these jambs to make it pretty solid and then put a new sill in. This seems to be a little more common, that these jambs aren't so bad, but the sills aren't so good either. So as a rule, I really don't bring you down here much. One, because it's so repetitive, and secondly, it's a mess. But that's part of the process when you're remodeling. You know, Diane and I have been married 50 years now, and every house we have lived in, with the exception of our very first house, which we bought brand new, but every house since has been cases like this that have been old homes that I've had to remodel to make them presentable. The house that we are in now was built in 1898, combination of an old house and a granary put together and then added on, and it was a mess. It was actually much worse than this building here is. But I completely gutted it out, rewired it, plumbed it, sheetrocked it, you know, all that stuff in the process of making it livable again. That's why it's not really intimidating here, but that's partly why I haven't hired these windows put in. I had a bid on these windows about 15 years ago, and at that time it was running between $55,000 and $60,000 to have windows put in. But I knew the condition of this building, it was going to be a can of worms. I've been there, done that type of thing, so I didn't do it, and I didn't want to borrow money at the time, and you know, a combination of things. But to have somebody come in that is a window installer would open up these windows and say, you know, we got to rip the whole thing out. We got to put in, you know, whatever. But I am in the business of repairing, so I'm more comfortable with opening up that can of worms and doing the repairs and try to keep as much original as I can if it's salvageable. So I just thought I'd take you through one window I haven't opened up yet, but it's just down the line of these rotted sills, and maybe kind of show you some of the worms that are hiding in the walls of this old building. So when I was taking paneling off, this is the room that I showed you has the push button light switch and a note that was taped underneath that paneling: please turn lights off when not needed, manager. You remember I showed you that. a couple years ago maybe now. So that's the room I'm in now, and this is the window that I have taken out, and this is the condition of that sill plate that is so common. I haven't done anything to it other than open it up, but you can see the rock that is in it. It's split right down the center. This is just falling apart from all the moisture. And so this is the process that I'm going through to replace these. See, the side jambs, whatever they're called, they aren't so bad, so I just need to put a new sill plate underneath it, and I built some custom ones just for this. And if I don't call all the pieces their proper names, you just have to excuse my ignorance. But pictures speak more than words, and this is what I'm going to try to fix. So the original were built when it was completely brick and just kind of stuccoed or whatever they put on the inside. But it's since been furred out and they put this old paneling on it. So I've got this extra 3/4 or so. So you can see they've put another shim on the face of these to bring them out. Well, I need to cut this off so that I can get this sill plate out. On the other side, this shim is already gone. I could just take the other side off, but I think I'm just going to trim it off. So I've got a metal blade on here because I know there's nails in there. So I found that sometimes it's easier to cut this in half if they don't want to come out. I don't know if this one will come out or not. Maybe it will. By golly, it will. How about that? So this is what I'm usually finding underneath these. Big cavities between the inside stucco work and the brick building itself. So these are the new sills that I have made to go in here, and they fit pretty snug, and you can see I've routed out a little section here on both sides, and that is for these corner plates that I have. And I've recessed these down to where they are flush, so I can put my sill seal on here, and this will all lay flush. And this is going to help connect this back into these sides and give it some strength. But I don't want to put it on and leave all this void. So I'm going to go mix up some mortar and fill that in. But as a dry run first, I want to make sure it fits. This side needs to come forward a bit. I'll do some customizing and make sure it fits. I think we're going to be about right there, right up against this edge where the old one was originally. And that's going to fit there, and that's going to fit there. We'll see if we can get this kind of leveled out a bit. I'm sure every mason uses a dog dish for this. That's my mixing bowl. Well, I undershot it a bit, which I usually do. I have to mix up a little more. I like it a little over full, so I'll keep it up against my sides. Kind of push it into place as I put it into place. My sill will kind of end up being my screed board. Let's see how that fits. I think we're about there. So I got ahead of myself. On the other ones, I've been putting a coat of glue on that 3/4 inch that goes underneath, and I didn't do it. So I'm going to see what I can just push underneath that. What goes under, goes under. What doesn't, doesn't. Get distracted by the camera. And my corner plate's gonna go there. So I countersunk my holes so that I can try to be flush. This side doesn't matter because I have a space between my new window. I have to shim that out anyway. That leaves me flush there. Hindsight is always 20/20, isn't it? A little nail right here. So I've been covering these with a sill seal. And this is where I wanted those corner joints kind of flush. And I kind of build up my corners. So that's kind of some of the can of worms that show up as I'm entering into this project. From here it's just caulk everything shut. You can see the wind's picking up a little bit. That's what brought in the heat yesterday. We were 104 yesterday, supposed to be 109, 110 today. I've got a whole bucket of shims, all different thicknesses, and I just sort through these to try to find out which one I need and get this all fastened into place. And this will be the last step for these windows. So basically I have two sizes of windows in this building. The lower are 2 inches wider, and I think they're 2 inches taller. The top floor is just a little bit smaller, of course. But this north side, what I would call north, it's kind of northwest, and this southwest side is what catches all the winter storms and the summer storms. That's just where our storms come from. And those are the windows that are in the worst condition, but mainly on the second floor, which is kind of interesting. So even though they're somewhat the same, every window has been kind of unique of its own, especially on this second floor. So it slows me down a little bit. But this is just a little bit of a flavor of what I'm going through on the final install. All these windows are in place, but they aren't finally set in, sealed, and completely fastened into place yet. So I'm going through one by one doing this, doing the repairs as I go. So such as it is, you kind of get a feel for what I spend my time on hot days. But usually I do this either really early in the morning or after work when I get out of the carriage shop. Anyway, appreciate you coming along. Thanks for watching.